Welcome to the Office of the Treasurer and Tax Collector's 2025 Annual Business Tax Commercial Rents Tax Return video. This video provides a quick summary of the Commercial Rents Tax online return form. Please review our online instructions and business tax code for detailed information. Following the adoption of Proposition M, a restructuring of San Francisco's business tax system that was approved by voters in November 2024, beginning with the 2025 filing, all San Francisco businesses must file a unified annual business registration and tax form to renew their business registration and file and pay any applicable business taxes. The renewal deadline is the last day of February. Since the last day of February falls on a weekend this year, the deadline is March 2nd. You may notice that you are renewing again sooner than usual. Most small businesses will only renew the registration and will not file or pay additional business taxes. If you had $5 million or less in San Francisco gross receipts and did not have any business activity outside of San Francisco, you will generally not file or pay the gross receipts tax or most other annual business taxes. Alternatively, if you had more than $5 million in San Francisco gross receipts in 2025, you will be required to file annual business taxes and pay any taxes due. Visit sftreasurer.org/GRT to learn more. A separate and lower small business exemption now applies to the commercial rents tax. That means some small businesses that do not file the gross receipts tax may still be required to file the commercial rents tax. For 2025, businesses with more than $2,325,000 in San Francisco gross receipts who lease, sublease, or otherwise rent out commercial space must file the commercial rents tax. Visit sftreasurer.org/CRT to learn more. The homelessness gross receipts tax now applies to a broader group of businesses. As a result, some businesses may be required to file and pay this tax even if they were not previously subject to it. Now, businesses with more than $25 million in San Francisco gross receipts in a business category must file and pay the homelessness gross receipts tax as part of their annual business taxes. Visit sftreasurer.org/HRT to learn more and see examples. The overpaid executive tax now applies to a much narrower group of large businesses. Most businesses will not be subject to this tax. Beginning with the 2025 filing, a business is exempt if it meets both of the following criteria: 1,000 or fewer U.S. employees and $1 billion or less in gross receipts reported on U.S. federal income tax returns. And finally, the deadline for an extension to file annual business taxes has changed to better align the city's extension deadline with California's deadline, providing additional time to complete returns. If you qualify and request an extension, your deadline to file annual business taxes is now November 30th. When you file an extension request, the basis for extension amounts are based on your 2024 annual business tax filing and registration renewal 2025-26. The estimated tax amount is calculated for you. It's important to have all your business information available before you start. The letter you received from our office has your 7-digit business account number and 8-character online PIN. The online PIN is formatted with both letters and numbers. You will also need the last 4 digits of your federal tax identification number. For sole proprietors, your federal tax ID is usually your Social Security number. To begin, go to our homepage at www.sftreasurer.org. Look for and select the File Annual Business Registration and Tax Form button to access the landing page. The landing page contains important information, including instructions and link to enter the filing. When you're ready, enter the filing by clicking the Begin Annual Business Registration and Tax Form button. To begin the annual business registration and tax form, please enter your 7-digit business account number. Your last 4 digits of your federal tax identification number, and your 8-character online PIN. Then click on the Login button. Once you've entered the filing, you'll see the business account number and buttons to view the instructions, get technical assistance, and to exit the filing. On the bottom of the screen will be buttons to navigate forward and to exit the application. The filing begins with the filing questionnaire. There are 5 initial questions, which will help determine which returns you will have the option to file. Based on your answers to the initial 5 questions, more questions may appear. You must answer all the questions to continue. The questions answered in this video are for demonstration purposes only. Remember to answer all questions according to your business. The first question: did you and any related entities have taxable business personal property in San Francisco in tax year 2025? Select yes or no to answer. Question 2 asks the average number of employees per week, including those employed outside San Francisco. Question 3 asks number of San Francisco employees. Enter the number of San Francisco employees as of the last day of 2025. Question 4 asks enter the 6-digit 2022 North American Industry Classification System, also known as the NAICS code, that matches your principal business activity. If you do not know your NAICS code, click on More Info to find the 2022 NAICS code associated with your business activity by clicking on the United States Census Bureau website. Once you have identified your NAICS code, enter it here. This will be displayed on your registration certificate. Question 5 asks, are you a lessor of a residential real estate of a 4-unit or more building? See instructions if you have additional business activities. Note that if you are currently a short-term rental host, you will see the host-related question later on in the form. There is a distinction between a residential lessor and a short-term rental host. Please make sure you answer this question correctly. If you select yes to this question, you'll be finished with the filing questionnaire. Select Save and continue to proceed. If you answer no to question number 5, 4 more questions will appear. Question 6 asks if you will be reporting a tax credit. To report a tax credit, you may be required to file a paper return. If you answer yes to this question and are reporting a tax credit for opening a physical location in designated areas in the city or certain first lessees of qualified buildings, see instructions on how to request a paper form. Select yes if you are reporting tax credits. Select no if you are not reporting tax credits. Question 7 asks, do you have one or more single-member entities treated as a disregarded entity for federal income tax purposes registered with our office, or are you filing on behalf of one or more related entities in a combined group for any portion of the tax year, even if filing this return separately? Please refer to the instructions to determine if you're filing as a combined group. Most businesses do not have related entities or members and will answer no to this question. However, if you select yes, you'll be prompted to enter information on behalf of all the members of the group. Question 8 asks, do you have receipts from the lease of commercial real estate in San Francisco to report, or did you make 2025 estimated commercial rents tax payments? The commercial rents tax generally applies to a business leasing commercial space in the city. This question identifies businesses that may own commercial rents tax. You may not be subject to the commercial rents tax. For 2025, businesses with more than $2,325,000 in San Francisco gross receipts who lease, sublease, or otherwise rent out commercial space must file the commercial rents tax. For more information on who must file and pay these taxes, visit the business taxes section of our website. Select Yes if you receive any amounts from the lease of real estate in San Francisco, including subleases or made 2025 estimated commercial rents tax. If you do not have amounts from the lease of real estate in San Francisco or did not make such estimated payments, select No. Question 9 asks, did this business and any related entities as defined in Code Section 953.8C employ over 1,000 full-time and part-time people in the U.S. as of the last day included in this return? Select Yes or No to answer. If you select Yes, you will be asked 2 additional questions to determine if you qualify for the administrative office tax. If you select No to question number 9, you will be finished with the filing questionnaire. Select Save and Continue. The filing menu page displays the taxes and fees available for you to file. If you answered yes to question 8 on the previous page regarding commercial rents, you will see 2 lines. One for the registration renewal, gross receipts tax, overpaid executive tax, and homelessness gross receipts tax returns, and one for the commercial rents tax. If you have not yet filed your tax return and if the deadline has not yet passed, you will see 2 options, a File button and a Request Extension button. Click the File button to begin or continue your return. Click the Request Extension button to request a filing extension. Please note that if you've already submitted a return, you will no longer see a Request Extension button. Additionally, if you are filing a return after the deadline, you will not longer see the option to file an extension request. If you have already submitted a return for a tax, you will see an Amend button instead of the File button. Click that button to amend a previously filed return. You will also see a View Prior Submission link. Clicking this link will open an HTML of your most recently filed return. You will also see 2 buttons at the bottom of the page, Proceed to Pay and Payment Details. Click the Proceed to Pay button to proceed to the online payment portal. This button will not be available until you have submitted at least 1 return. Click the Payment Details button to view the payment details our office has on file for this business account. For the purpose of this video, I will select to file commercial rents tax return. Throughout the return, if you need help on how to answer a question, click on the Instructions button to open the detailed instructions or click Exit to exit the form. The commercial rents tax, also referred to as the Early Care and Education Commercial Rents Tax, generally applies to businesses leasing commercial space in the city that have more than $2,325,000 in San Francisco gross receipts. Click Save and Continue to proceed with the commercial rents tax return. Unlike tax year 2024 and prior, you are no longer required to file the commercial rents tax return per location. There will only be 1 return required for all of your commercial space locations. If you previously submitted a 2025 commercial rents tax return and need to amend to reflect no commercial rents to report, or if you made estimated payments of the commercial rents tax but have no taxable commercial rents to report, check the box for This business has no commercial rent to report, then click Save and Continue to proceed. Otherwise, proceed to the next line item. In line 1, enter all receipts from the lease or sublease of real estate in San Francisco, including but not limited to reimbursements and other amounts received from tenants or subtenants pursuant to the terms of the lease or the sublease. In line 2, enter all gross receipts, including in line 1 from the lease of residential real estate. In line 3, enter all the gross receipts included in line 1 that are from the space at this location used for industrial use. In line 4, enter all gross receipts included in line 1 that are from space at this location used for arts activities. In line 5, enter all gross receipts included in line 1 that are from space at this location used for retail sales or services activities or retail sales or service establishments. In line 6, enter all gross receipts included in line 1 that are received from exempt tenants, including governments and certain nonprofits. In line 7, enter all gross receipts included in line 1 that are from rent subject to the transient occupancy tax. In line 8, enter all gross receipts included in line 1 that are from rent subject to the to the parking tax. For line 9, the system will sum lines 2 through 8 and display the result. These are the receipts that are not taxable under the commercial rents tax. Line 10, the system will subtract line 9 from line 1 and display the results here. These are the receipts from the lease of taxable commercial space. Line 11, of the amount in line 10, enter all gross receipts that are from the lease of warehouse space. For lines 12 through 14, the form will calculate the commercial rents tax before credits. Click Save and Continue. You are now on the Certify and Submit page, which summarizes commercial rents tax return. Line 1 is commercial rents tax before credit. Line 2 is for a qualifying child care facility tax credit. A tax credit is available for persons that lease or provide commercial space in a property for a qualifying child care facility. The tax credit is based on the total number of infants, toddlers, and preschool-aged children for which the qualifying child care facility is licensed by the California Department of Social Services to provide care. This requires you to upload a document to support claiming the credit. The system can only accept one uploaded document, so if you need to upload multiple documents, you will need to combine them into one document before uploading. Remove any password protection before uploading the file. For the purpose of this filing, we will not be taking a qualifying child care facility tax credit. And line 3 provides the total commercial rents tax for all locations after credits. Below this is a taxpayer statement. Read the statement and finalize your filing by entering your name, your title, your phone number, and your email address. The email address you enter will receive a copy of this return. When you are ready, click Submit. After clicking Submit, please wait. Do not click the back button. Your return has not been successfully submitted until you see the submission confirmation page. Once you are directed to the submission confirmation page, your return has been submitted. Click the Download a Copy to download a copy of your return. Click Continue to proceed to the courtesy calculation page. You will see information on the courtesy calculation page for each tax or fee you file. This page will show principal amount, tax due, and the sum of the estimated payments made in prior quarters where applicable. If you are filing late, it will also calculate any late filing penalties, administrative fees, late payment penalty, and interest calculations. The calculations displayed will not include recent payments or payments made to other annual business tax types. If you would like to keep this page for future reference, you may click Print this page. Congratulations, you have now filed your 2025 commercial rents tax return. Thank you for taking the time to learn about filing your return.